We have come to the last of the 10 Commandments. This one is not an action, it is an attitude. Thou shalt not covet. What does that mean? Here is a dictionary definition. The dictionary says to covet is to wish, to long, or to crave for something, especially the property of another person. This is more than just to want something. Wanting something is not necessarily wrong. Someone says, I am hungry. I want something to eat. That is normal. That is okay. You need to eat. Wanting food is not wrong. But what if you go to lunch at school and you say, I don't want the lunch my mom made me. I want her lunch. Now you might be coveting. You are wanting something that is not yours, something that you shouldn't have. That's why the Bible says, you shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor, because those are the things we are most likely to covet. God has a list of examples, and here is the first one. Don't covet your neighbor's house. So, do you want a nicer house? Do you ever think about that? Well, how about this house? Do you want to live in this one? This is the famous Biltmore Mansion in North Carolina. I have visited this house, and it is fun to visit. But I don't really want to live there. I might want a bigger house, but not this big. This house is so big and so expensive, nobody lives there. It's a museum. It's a tourist attraction. I don't covet this house. I don't want to live there. But do you covet your neighbor's house? You go over to visit and you notice that their television is quite a bit bigger than yours. And they have a fitness room. I wish my house had a fitness room. If you are not careful, you will soon be breaking this commandment. You will be coveting your neighbor's house. I am making these videos for kids, but I know that a few adults are watching. So let me talk to the adults for a minute. Do you know what the second thing on the list is? Don't covet your neighbor's wife. Because apparently that's a big problem. That's a common temptation. Notice again that it's not just anybody, it's your neighbor's wife. Do you recognize this man? This is Tom Brady, former quarterback of the New England Patriots. He is one of the most famous athletes in the world. And do you know who this is? This is Gisele, his wife. She is a Brazilian supermodel. She is one of the most famous, one of the highest paid supermodels in the world. Do you covet Tom Brady's wife? Do you wish you were married to her? I think probably not, because she is so far removed from your life. It is hard to even imagine being married to someone like her. No, I think you are more likely to covet your neighbor's wife, or that guy across the hall at work, or that guy you see at the gym. His wife is not a Brazilian supermodel, but is she a little bit prettier than your wife, or a little bit smarter, or a little bit more friendly, and you're jealous? Why can't I have a wife like that, you ask yourself. And you are breaking the 10th commandment. You are coveting what is not yours. Don't covet your neighbor's house. Don't covet your neighbor's wife. Instead, the Bible says, be content with what you have. You can always find people with more money than you. There is only one richest man in the world, and you are not him. So of course you can find people with more than you. If you think about them, it will make you covet. But the world is also full of people poorer than you, people that live in tents or shacks. They will covet what you have, because we all seem to want something a little bit more. But God says, whatever you have, be content. The Bible is very clear what makes us covet. Do you remember the story of Achan? He was a soldier in Joshua's army. He fought at the Battle of Jericho. When they took over the town, he stole some things and hid them in his tent. When Joshua confronted him, here's what he said. When I saw the gold, the silver, the clothes, the coins, I coveted them and took them. When I saw them, I coveted them. The Bible calls this the lust of the eyes. We see things and we want them. Something maybe you weren't even thinking about, something you didn't even want before, but you saw it and now you want it. This is a big problem with television. You watch lots of commercials and they make you want lots of things. I learned a song when I was a child. Do you know this song? Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Be careful. Why? Because things you see can cause you to covet them. Have you ever seen an ad on TV for an expensive luxury car? Did you wish you could have a car like that? Maybe they don't say the words, but the whole idea is this car will make you happy. You will never hear these words on TV, but here is what they should say. This car is just for rich people. If you buy a car you can't afford, it will make you sad, not happy. That's not what they say on the TV, but it's the truth. Here's what Paul said in Philippians 4. I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. This is not something that is easy or automatic, not even for someone like Paul. This is something we have to learn. Whatever your situation, God has placed you there. So learn to be content. Don't covet, be content. That is the last commandment.